Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Become an Author Spotlight. Thank you for joining us. And I know we have a lot of followers that's really interested in what some of our authors are doing, what motivates them to get started, what do they gain out of publishing a book. So our highlight this week is with Master. He's a martial artist. So Master Shun Hartley, and he is out of Louisiana. And, we had the grace and opportunity to publish his first book, and he's gone on and published several other books. So, really our program is about inspiring people of what they can do and they can accomplish, learning how to identify that they have a story and learn how to share that story. Say, hey, Sean, how you doing today, sir?
Well, hey, how are you, Grandmaster Bowen? I'm doing great. It's good to be with you again. Glad to reconnect with you. And I tell you, you have really been an inspiration to me. And at this time of writing and becoming an author, you have truly inspired me, and many others, I should say. But thank you for this opportunity in highlighting me as your spotlight author for this week. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. We've been following you and we see all the work you're doing, all the different book signings you're going to, and you started with one book and now you've got another one. Every one you can, the easy button is you can go to his website and you can, it's running across the screen there. Check out his website. It's the website Elite Publications built for him, and get ready to update because he has several other books that he has out also. But I really do these author spotlights to be able to share with everyone, because you have a story, put it in writing. You've got a life event, put it in writing. You have something you're good at, put it in writing. Just the opportunity to do that. I know you may be saying, well, I'm not a good writer, or I don't know how to get started. This is the reason why you should reach out to Elite Publications so we can support you to be able to monetize your story, write your story, and help you in every aspect of getting your publishing project launched. So, Sean, let's start by talking about a little bit about you. Tell us, a little bit about you and where you're located, and what inspired you to write your first book.
Well, thank you for the question. I am Shun Hartley, reside in the great city of Lake Charles, Louisiana, of course, home of the New Orleans Saints and LSU Tigers. As a military dependent, my father traveled around, and of course, traveling with him. And I had become interested in martial arts, and started at a very young age taking martial arts. And I did pretty well at it, and found myself to be successful at the tournaments, even in the belt ranking, received my black belt at the age of 15. And speeding along here ahead, as I reside here in Lake Charles, I started teaching martial arts, and I thought we did quite well with the students. Ran a martial arts studio in the downtown area. Did absolutely well with the students in competing, developing a positive attitude with them. Something happened in 2020, of course, during the pandemic. Wasn't able to teach anymore because of the directives from the government. And I started to tune in to you at that time. And I would hear you talk about everyone have a story. And I pondered on that, and I began to miss teaching the kids. I've always focused on working with kids in every aspect of my life. And so I wanted to sit and actually write about my experience, in working with kids and how I felt the martial arts helped me as a youngster developing a positive attitude, becoming goal oriented, and so with your help, that's when we had come up with developing a positive attitude, and because of your company, I was able to have this published through Elite publication, and had a grand time in Las Vegas with you all at the Who's banquet, and was able to launch the book there, and did quite well, I would say. And it's a book I believe that can help martial arts school owners who focus on working with young people, with youth advocates, and anyone who just have a passion to work with young people. I want to just talk about principles that would help teach them and coach young people how to develop a positive attitude. And I am very partial to the martial arts, and I think it's a great after school program that all kids should be a part of.
Hmm. Well, your book has a great title, and this is where it starts. So if you are thinking about writing a book, and Shonda said a few moments ago, he's a very motivated person, positive attitude, and he wants to do, help kids to be able to develop this. And his book is oriented for kids learning about, the positive attitude. In fact, the book is titled "Developing a Positive Attitude for Youth." The Empowerment New Book. Wow, that's a powerful title. And if you were, again, Sean, I know you teach and you're in law enforcement, but just think about martial arts school owners that you had a book titled Positive Attitude for Youth, and parents are looking around for martial arts schools, and they come to your school, and the first thing they receive when they in their intro package is a book that says Positive Attitude for Youth. I would want to enroll my child in that program because they have tools that would be able to help me make sure I secure a positive attitude, and to teach my child about a positive attitude. And then we come in with that word empowerment in doing that. So, Sean, I think that was a really great idea. So how did you come up with the name for your book?
Another good question there. So when I was teaching in 1994, I began teaching my martial arts school, and we would travel to some of your metropolitan cities. The first one being Dayton, Ohio, it was the Junior Olympics, and um, and we actually drove several vehicles. Uh, the 4 or 5 kids that I had riding with me, boy, did I notice a negative attitude. Some of the comments that the kids were making. So I do believe that it takes a collaborative effort on both parents, instructors, teachers, youth advocates, to help mold and shape that positive mindset. And so I was inspired to get back to the martial arts studio a week after. We normally would take a break after being away for about a week, competing in those Junior Olympic tournaments. It was a week long. So I began to think, boy, we really need to help develop that mindset. We want them to feel positive about their performance, and even on the outside of the martial arts studio. Um, and one thing in particular that I could say that we used as a technique or tool to help us, I would often ask the kids while we would practice, real loud, how do you feel while we're practicing? And they would respond real good. I noticed the motivation, I noticed the positive mindset, even the conversations that we would have. They was always upbeat and pretty positive. And so we would try to drill in their mind that, you want to have a positive mindset. Anything that happened to you negative on the outside of the doors, we want you to leave that out there. And we want to focus on developing you, enhancing you. And one of the things I always put emphasis on is that we would always make sure that the kids felt successful before leaving my studio. And so all of that played a role in helping me to decide the title of Developing a Positive Attitude. But traveling back 10, 12 hours, and just hearing so many negative comments, we wanted to change that. I think we did a great job with it too.
Well, everyone, not everyone, but most people, they don't really understand the journey of a author of being published. So share a little bit about your journey. We have the concept. So what else did you do? And that'll lead us into your new books.
Well, great. So just those things that I feel passionate about. I think we're all by nature, we're all very opinionated, have opinions, views. And it's just a matter of disciplining yourself to sit down and actually write out, that thing that you're passionate about. Now, there are several things that I find myself to be passionate about. One first is the martial arts, and that's why we started first with a martial arts book. And there's other things as well. Now, my book is geared toward the youth. And all of you mentioned earlier with my involvement in law enforcement, even the 23 and a half years of work in law enforcement, 16 of those years were dedicated to youth department as a DARE instructor, working as a resource officer in the schools, junior deputy program. I've always felt that I was solving the world's greatest problems by impacting young people's lives. And so I wanted to write about my experience as a martial arts instructor. For 5 years, I worked with the Head Start program. And as you talk about some of the other books, I used to love coloring with the kids. So I have a coloring book here. The theme is respect. And of course, even at 4 and 5 years old, you want to try to instill principles in teaching the child how to be respectful. I did volume 1, 2, and 3. This is volume 2. And we focused on teamwork. It's important that the kids learn how to work together, how to play together, interact with each other. And so, during that playtime in the PlayStations, they need to learn how to work together and put toys away together. And volume 3 in the coloring book, we focus on leaders, various leaders in the community. And we want to give the child an opportunity to start believing and thinking that they could possibly grow up to be a law enforcement officer, a doctor, a school teacher. So I wanted to write and develop a coloring book to where the kids could actually trace their alphabets, the numbers. Volume 3, we deal with shapes. And we do focus on martial arts too. I mean, I am a martial artist, and so we teach the martial art principles and techniques. So we try to introduce the kids to the martial arts if there's an interest, and we hope that the coloring books will help develop that interest. Also, the different books here. This is just Leo and me. Something that's going on right now, the storm that we all hear about. As an officer, I had to stay back here in the city. My family would leave, and I would have to stay back as a first responder. And I would see so many of the animals that was abandoned. And I've always had a love for dogs, in particular boxers. And so this is a first grader. He's asking to have a dog. His mother is encouraging him that, look, if I agree to getting you a dog for your birthday, remember now he's a family member, and you have to be responsible. So this book here is teaching young people how to be responsible as a young pet owner. And I was just taken back to see so many animals that was left back and abandoned during the storm. I did hear this morning that where some of the people were really making provision for some of the animals, dogs and the cats And even at the zoo this morning, I heard on the news that they are making provisions to make sure that they're safe. And that's what inspired me to write Just Leo and Me, teaching young people how to be responsible pet owners.
Wow, that's really great. Starting with just an idea or concept. Well, it's the same thing. With me, I've written now over 40 books, and you write from where you are, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
one of the things that and one of the questions that they had. What was some of the most challenging parts of writing your first book?
Time. Um, Again, with my line of duty, of course, I'm retired as a law enforcement officer, 23 and a half years of serving the community. But time, from time to time, I would have to leave out the house early. My writing time is morning. I'm a early morning person, and I've always carved out at least an hour in the mornings when I first started with developing a positive attitude. But when I went off course, I would have to discipline myself to sit down and began writing again. And what I started to do is put a time frame, and I think he was instrumental too in helping to set a time frame when I would like to have chapter two finished, chapter three, when we would like to have the entire book completed. And I think these are goals that you have to set, and you have to stick with the goals too. Yes, we know that there are some interruptions that comes about in life, but just discipline yourself to get back focused. And boy, I tell you what a reward it is once you complete the book. My very first one, again, from Elite Publications, I was just so excited and happy to see information that I literally sat down and penned, and then having the company, your company, to go back and do some editing within the book. So, I think when we talk about success as an author, I think literary, if when those who take the time to read your book and if they share with you that it was really encouraging, inspiring, or they learned something, that is success in itself. To hear someone to tell you how the information that you've taken time to write out, and now they're sitting there reading your material. It just makes you feel good. And I would encourage anyone who's contemplating on writing, do it. I mean, one of the best things that you can do, and even leaving for family members, relatives. I have friends now, who will tell me from time to time, hey, I thumbed through your book again and read chapter six. And boy, I didn't realize, so much insight that you shared about this positive attitude and how it starts in the home. And so I would encourage anyone that's listening to us, if you desire to write a book, hey, you have the right person right here, Grandmaster Jessie Bowen and staff.
Well, that is great, and that's one of the questions we have for you also. So, how has becoming an author impacted your personal and professional life?
Well, I I actually go back and read my books, and it makes me realize, wow, with developing a positive attitude, being that martial artist that I've written about, with having that positive mindset, I'm always mindful, and I write from the heart, and of course, being transparent. And so this what I write, it's actually what I live. And so just going back and reading through the different books, I think about in particular developing a positive attitude. It just helps me to thrive, strive, to continue to be goal oriented. Understanding that this is a monumental moment in my life to actually say that I've completed several books. And I think it helps too, even on the outside, just, of life, away from being an author. It even helps you to strive and believe that you can achieve even higher goals. And so, and I believe that this year just kind of was a springboard for me to just continue to write my thoughts and to continue to strive. And so, and I'm just so glad that I'm reconnecting here with you. And I believe that there's greater things to come with us. And of course, you mentoring and helping me to continue to achieve my goals as being an author. Now, just with the amount of books that you've written, and I thought, boy, having 6 books here was great. What did you say, 40? I mean, wow. And it takes discipline to literally sit down and pen out, your thoughts. And so that is inspiring as well to say that uh, uh, other titles that I've thought about, things that I've thought about that I wanted to write. Right now, I'm working with men, formerly incarcerated men. Who
Mhm.
knows? Maybe in a year's time, I might want to write something to share with those who are working with the reentry program, helping men to reacclimate back out into society. And this is something that I've taken dear to my heart, working with men to help them to get back and reestablish into society.
Well, one of the easy parts, because I've got over 40 books, but there's over 40 different things that I've done. So, for an example, wherever I am in life, that's where I write from, and that's what I write on. As a minister, I've got 3 Christian books out, and one of the books is titled "God Forgives, Why Not You?" So when you're going through things, and we have these family heritage of unforgiving spirits, that once you cross me, it's all over. And so that's one of the books that I wrote and became an international bestseller. And it was really about me and learning and God speaking to me about forgiveness. Another book that I've written, which is a Christian book, is God Gives Me Vision. People say, "Well, Jessie, you have such vision and all this," and I woke up one morning and God said, "God gives you vision." So that became the name of the book.
Yeah.
So I began to write about just vision and its concept. And so, this year I've been battling with, when you become, blessed with success, then you have to have time management
Correct.
and don't procrastinate. So
That's
this year I'm writing a book for Christian entrepreneurs, and that book is titled "Don't Procrastinate on God: The
mm,
Millionaire Mindset." So
yeah.
it's written, for entrepreneurs, but everyone. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about everyone has a story. What are you doing right now? What are you working on? Are you working on goal setting? Are you successful at something? Are you working with someone, youth or adults or whatever? If you have a coaching business, you need to have a book. Now, the power of books you see every day. If you turn on the news, you go to Fox News, CNN News, any of those major outlets, the people that come on, they have a book. That's what qualifies them to be an expert. So in our martial arts community, why not have a book? Why not do something that you can reflect on, that you can have? You never know when that window of opportunity comes open and someone says, "Oh, you're an author." That's when I back in wow, 1987, I was asked to be on the staff at Duke University. One of the chosen things that I had a curriculum book about teaching martial arts. So, that's some of the things that will help you in your martial arts, in your business, and just for you personally. If you keep a journal, journaling can turn into a book. What are you doing every day? It can be turned into a book. If you make a to-do list, that can be turned into a book. if you stay, whatever you decide to do, all those things, and especially if you gain the benefit from it. Now, not every story is a positive story. When I say that, I mean it looks like that person, maybe they were involved in drugs and they're writing about that experience, but how they came out of that situation. So, you can take your life stories and change them into motivators, which will inspire other people to become, authors. And then you look at Sean, the monetary side. It's always great in wanting to sell your book. And I think I try to tell people now that your goal is selling your first 800 copies of your book. And this is where it takes marketing to be able to do that, but it opens that door. And and I also look at a book, especially from a business side. If I'm a martial arts instructor and I've written a book, I don't really worry about that 1995 book. But if that book was used to influence a student to join my martial arts school, and they were being charged $100 a month, they stayed into the program for 12 months, that's $1,200. So that book that influenced that parent to sign that student up in my school, now it goes from the value of $19.95 up to $1,200. And that's a really huge jump. And this is what we're trying to share and teach martial artists and coach on, that your book can impact your business. Now, this is not just martial arts. Any other business that you have, becoming an author makes you an expert. And since you're an expert, your value of your service, your products, all those things can increase because of your expertise. Shun, this has been really great. We're very proud of you. Again, we see the work that you're doing and the different areas you're branching off into. Keep doing what you're doing, and you're really impacting the community and everything that you're doing. Any final words from you? I know that we can, everyone. So remember, you can go to Amazon and pick up a copy of his book. And you can just go to Amazon and type in Shun Hartley, and you can find his book there. You can just Google his name and his book, and you'll see that all the different websites and bookstores online that his books are available. So you can have this same opportunity. But remember, you have to do what Shun did. He had to take action. He had to pick up the telephone. He had to make a call. He had to make a decision, and that was life-changing. I tell everyone, if it hadn't, I wrote a book in 2016, totally changed my life. It's gone from a one book now to an international publishing company. So you got to break a lot of eggs to make that happen. And we've been blessed to help thousands of individuals to write and publish their books. So any final words from you, Shun?
Well, I just want to say thank you again for being instrumental in helping me with developing a positive attitude. One of the best investment that I could have made, and because of this, I don't have a school right now, but because of this book, I'm still getting calls to do self-defense classes with organizations, with sororities, and just last month was able to go out to one of the local business here and provide self-defense training. And a few of the persons inside said that they did hear of my book. And so there's many opportunities and door openers just being an author, in particular, those of us who write about martial arts, the community look at us as professionals. They're more than willing to bring us in and very receptive to our instructions because the book, just like you stated, it really opened doors and opportunities for us. So one of the greatest investments that I've made. Again, thank you for an outstanding job that you guys are doing at Elite. And thank you for such a great staff and your patience. Of course, I think we kind of went back and forth, with some of the corrections and things of that nature. But thank you so much for what you're doing. and the platforms that you make available for not only the martial arts community, but those even beyond. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Everyone, remember, everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. So remember, check out our website, schedule a free author success session. We'd love to sit down and talk to you about your ideas. What do you need to do? We can save you time, energy, and money. And guess what? You can trust us. You know, we don't deal with your money. We focus on self-publishing, you know, for authors, that you keep the rights to your book, you keep your money. So our whole thing is helping you to become successful, because we know that it opens up more doors in the future. So everyone, remember, check out the website, and that's www.elitepublications.org. You can actually check out our Roku channel, and that, guess what the name is? The name of the channel is Elite Publications Worldwide TV. So you can go to Roku, add the app to your smart TV, and check out our authors and the different things we have going on. We also have a website that connects to our Roku channel, and that channel, guess what the website is? Elite Publications Worldwide TV.com. So we got all these different ways that we can help you promote your book and help you get started. And next month, the next edition of our magazine is going to be coming out, and that's called Take Center Stage. And I know, Shun, you were featured in our first magazine. So, you know, check out the magazine and see who's doing what, get your inspiration, get the tips and everything you need to have. Everyone, this is Jessie Bowen with Elite Publications. Remember our motto: everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. Be blessed.